What up, good people? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can actually hear me. I am hey, what up? What up, Chris? What up, Cass? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I want to make sure that you're actually picking up this audio. I got a slightly different setup. I'm on the road this morning, and kind of let me know how it sounds. I'm not using my usual microphone. I'm actually running some audio through my camera this morning. Yeah. I'm in Chicago, and we'll be here for a couple of days taking care of a few things. It's always about the future, right? Good morning to you. Yeah, thank you. So, you know how it is when you be in these hotel rooms. You don't have the same access to the internet that you do in a more controlled environment like your home studio. So it's nowhere near the same. But I think we're looking good. And I'll put the cam up in a second. You can see the backdrop of the Chicago skyline from the hotel room. But good morning to you. And here in Chicago, it's currently, what time is it? It's currently 6:46, right? So my apologies on the lateness. It's a little bit different time zone. Garrett Chicago style. Okay, what is that? I'm not even sure. A big can of Garrett's. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Haters gonna hate. Haters are gonna hate. Pushing people into the pool and the PG Sittenfeld trial. Those are three pillars that I want to talk about this morning. But as usual, we might talk about more than that. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Again, you could be anywhere in the World Wide Web, but it's a pleasure to have you here with me this morning. Good morning, and good morning. Please lift up the show. You know, I don't know what. Oh, it's popcorn. Okay. I don't know what is up with Facebook, and it doesn't really matter. That's their platform. They can do what they want to do with it. I'm just a little small piece of it trying to do what I do. But please, let's help break the algorithm, and please share it. And you can share it on Facebook groups. You can share it to your group, to your Facebook page. That way all your friends can see it. That would be much appreciated. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at, you already know, Wing Champ, the undisputed champ of all wings. They are based in the greater Cincinnati area out in beautiful Sharonville, Ohio. And you can call ahead today for a pickup or delivery. Their website or their web address is originalwingchamp.com. As a matter of fact, there's a link in today's description. You can check it out right there. Good morning to you. Good morning. Let's get into it. Lots to talk about, man. People still debating Roe v. Wade, right? Oh, man, that energy is so real out there. It's so real. Like I said, you know, people have been sending me comments about things that I've said, and you know, I get it. We can all have a different opinion about it. Some of those opinions are a little bit off kilter, but it is what it is. What really matters is what happens next. That's what really matters. There's a very interesting article in the Cincinnati Enquirer, in which it's an opinion piece, I believe, but it's all about the route that the anti-abortionists took. Here it is: anti-abortion groups discipline strategy to end Roe v. Wade. Matter of fact, it's written by Jesse Balmert and Laura Bishkoff. It posted yesterday or last night at 10 p.m. It's very interesting. And, it basically confirms what we already knew, is that in damn near the moment, it really was like 5 years afterward, maybe 10 years afterward, but damn near within a decade after Roe v. Wade was put on the books, you had extreme conservative elements out there that wanted to roll it back. And ever since it was put in place, there's been a debate in this country about where that line is. You know, when does life begin? And that's up for debate. I don't think that the science can really tell us that, because the science can't quantify the human soul. So we don't know. Some people believe that life begins at conception. And as a matter of fact, an Ohio lawmaker, Gene Schmidt, has introduced a bill that would outlaw abortion at conception. And so, like I said, you know, for a lot of people, they would think that's extreme. In my view, I think that's extreme. I think it's extreme. And so we shall wait to see whether that passes in Ohio, whether that can get momentum. As it currently stands in the state of Ohio, and I'm speaking for Ohio because that's my home state, um, uh, the heartbeat bill is in effect. So 6 weeks after conception, when you can detect a fetal heartbeat, it's illegal to get an abortion after that in the state of Ohio. I think that's extreme. I think that's extreme. But again, for the people who are interested in like digging your hands into the sand, into the dirt, into the mud, and like working on movements, then I think you should look at what the anti-abortion movement did. They had long-term strategy. As I said yesterday, and I reiterated today, that's the reason why they supported Donald Trump. They knew Donald Trump was whatever he was. They knew it, but he fit their goals. He fit their goals. Their goal was overturn Roe v. Wade. So if they had to dance with the devil, then so be it. And so be it. Long-term strategy. As I said, the anti-abortionists far smarter than a lot of people in our community. Because a lot of people in our community, they get caught up with dumb shit. They get caught up with like small details. You know what I'm saying? You got black people running around here. They don't even know what they are. They don't know if they black or African American. They don't even know who they are. How could you possibly have any kind of a battle strategy against a well-oiled machine that's got their eyes on the prize and not these ups and downs and momentary hiccups? So like like I said, people who are about that life, who are about like using politics to change, like grassroots activists and stuff like that. One thing I've noticed about them is that they don't get discouraged. They don't give up. They don't throw their hands up and say, it's never going to work. They just keep grinding. They keep grinding, keep grinding, keep grinding until they get to where they're trying to get to. And that's what we saw. Simple as that. That's what it comes down to. You had people who was working hard on a long-term strategy. Period. That's it. That's all. And so for folks out there that may have their own long-term strategies, I think there's something valuable potentially in, what the anti-abortionists have been able to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've heard these conversations with black voters and they rising and falling depending on personalities. I don't like this person. I don't like that person. Instead of figuring out what your goal is and whether this person fits your overall goal. So maybe there's some lessons there. We shall see. Can I take phone calls? I think I'm not sure. I'd be willing to try it. I'm set up, but I'm just, like I said, I'm in a remote location. And so there's a few things that I'm running a little bit differently, which may not be conducive to taking a phone call, but you got me this morning. Good morning to you. I am Pamela. I am not streaming on Spreaker this morning. So let me say that I'm not streaming on Spreaker this morning because of several reasons. But I'm not streaming on Spreaker this morning. Okay, maybe I may be able to get it back up and working tomorrow. Yeah, that's right, Nakia. Jean Schmidt. Yeah, she wants to outlaw abortion because she says that it starts at conception, right? Like I said, there's people out there that don't believe in using contraceptives because they think that's anti-God. I think that's very, 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 very problematic when you let individual personal, viewpoints about God and why everybody thinks they know, nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. And they'll say, well, have faith. Faith means you're believing in something without facts. That means that you don't really know. You just want to believe it. Nobody really knows what happens next. Nobody really knows the face of God. There's no human being right now that really, really knows. You may have faith, and I'm not trying to shatter that, but that ain't the same as facts. That's why it's called faith. And so because of that, I just find it very problematic to allow somebody else's religious viewpoint to govern how I feel about something per se, although this is America, it's a melting pot, yada, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Good morning to you. Did anybody get a chance to watch Versus? I typically don't watch it. The wifey turned it on, and we watched a little bit of it, man. But some of the performances weren't there. Now, I was never a big fan of B2K because I'm a man, and B2K is all. It was like 4 members, all males. They were put together for young girls. I'm not a young girl. I can't even remember. They had a couple songs which I thought, okay, cool. You know, I watched it on BT or something like that. It's all right, cool. But that's not really my thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not really what I do. But I am aware of them. So Omarion, who was the lead singer of that group, he had what a lot of people are saying a less than stellar performance. I put it that way because at least he's performing. Right? He had a less than stellar performance. And afterwards, some of his former band members went on Twitter and started shooting shots at him, really showing their feelings about him, talking about how he can't sing and he got served and yada, yada, yada. He shot back to him, basically saying that they were his backup singers. And so, the frustration continues. Now, that Omarion guy, that's the same dude who one of his former band members ended up in a relationship with a woman that he had children with, a woman named April. Remember this? We talked about this. Haters. I thought they made up. I remember Lil Fizz apologizing on stage as if you can apologize for something like that. Once it's done, it's done. But I'm only bringing this up because haters hate. Haters hate. And, haters will sit back until they perceive that you've hit a downfall, and then they want to let you know that they're there. But I just don't really think that that's a winning strategy, quite honestly. To me, the winning strategy is less about watching what other people do and more about being mindful of what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like another person's race or life is inconsequential to you. But when I saw that they was like shooting that shit to him, I thought, oh, okay. Oh, the hate is real. I read some of it. They're like, hey, you always thought that you was the best out of the group and you was jealous because I'm like, wait a minute, y'all grown men now. You still talk about old shit? Never get caught up with old shit, man. But I thought it was okay. Ray J clowned himself completely. He's being clowned all over the internet right now. It is what it is. I appreciate Versus as a platform. I thought it was interesting. They've had some really good moments, especially during the quarantine when everybody was virtual and streaming shit. Oh, man, that was everything. You couldn't wait for the next Versus. Now it seems like it's petering out. Because, they might be, I don't know. I don't want to say it like that, but, the quality of the preparedness isn't there. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm picking up on. Ray J ain't no Brandy. No, he is not. That first Brandy album, classic forever. Nakia writes, Gene Schmidt also believes you should have your rapist baby. Yeah, it's very extreme. Very, very extreme. But, that's the world we live in, yo. That's the world we live in. And, again, the smartest thing you can do is learn from other people's mistakes or learn from other people's successes. It's the smartest shit you can do. So, how we got here should be analyzed. I think it's useful because it gives you a guide on what can be done next, like the next movement. Is there a lot of energy behind that? I don't know. But, there's people out there who thought that God was upset with America because of America's stance on abortion and that all of the evil we seen and bad things are seen because God is punishing us. I seen some video with a woman who said this. She's so happy about Roe v. Wade. And I'm happy that people are happy. You know what I'm saying? That's great. I'm glad that you're happy. But that's not going to stop a goddamn thing. This world is evil and cruel. And like I told you, all these people out here claiming that they care about children, some of them don't really care about children. They just get preoccupied with this one thing, like they're preoccupied with birth, but they don't really care about children. I was reading some statistics in the last 24 hours, and as I said, and I don't think it's a coincidence, in some of the states in the United States that have the most stringent anti-abortion laws, they've got the weakest social safety net. They got some of the highest infant mortality rates, right? They don't really care about children. They care about people being born. Two completely different things whatsoever. Like I told you, if we cared about children, then what's up with the infant mortality rate? What's up with the infant mortality rate among Black women? What about the mortality rate of women who give birth in a year? Shout out to the people over at Queens Village and everything they doing. I mean, come on, man. We're too smart for that. Cash writes, Mario has always been a gifted vocalist, top tier talent. Tabitha writes, we keep our babies, Black people. Charles writes, Versus hasn't been the same since Swiss and Timbo sold it. Right. Yeah, but that's the whole point, though. People start these businesses and these platforms hoping for somebody else to come in and buy them, and they can just, sail away with a big bag of money. I ain't mad at them. But I think that they are still a part of it. Like Swish Beat and Timberland are still a part of it. They've got some role to play. Because that's what happens a lot. Like you'll get bought out. Let's say you're the founder of a company. Another company buys you out. In some cases, the founders and the executives, they'll stay in place. And now, essentially, they got a big pile of money out of it, but essentially, they're being paid to stay on and shepherd this idea, even though they got paid for it. I think that's what happened with Versus. They got paid, but they're still on as executive producers or something like that. So they're not too far away from it, Charles. Let me see if I can put the cam up for you this morning. Good morning. Although I don't think that I don't know if this is working though. I think I'm in the shadows or something, right? Let me see here. See if I can pull a little more light over. Let me work on that. I'll pull it up in a second here. Good morning to you. With every passing day, PG Sittenfeld sinks jet deeper into legal jeopardy. Is that really? Is that right, Braxton? Is that right? Okay. I was picking up stuff from like Sharon Coolidge and other people. Nothing really remarkable happened in the last day or so, right? On Monday. Nothing remarkable that they talked about. We had some bombshells on Friday, and there's no telling what name and who's going to be called out in this trial. Very, very interesting. Pamela writes, the best verses with Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight, two musical artists showcasing their musical catalogs, one complimenting the other stories about being on the road together. That's how it should be. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Yeah, that Patti LaBelle and Gladys Knight was a thing. They should do more of that. I was really disappointed. It just seemed as if, and again, I don't watch a lot of verses, but when I was watching, it seemed as if they hadn't gotten together and worked on their stage presence. They just said, hey, we're going to do this. I'm going to drink me a little drink, smoke me a little smoke. I'm going to get out there. I'm good. I'm ready. And I just feel like audiences deserve more. That's what I think. Is that right, Braxton? In what way, bro? In what way? Eloise is in the house. Good morning to you, Eloise. Good morning to you. Good to see you. Is that right? Yeah. I mean, well, Braxton, here's one thing I want to know. Like your boy Smitherman's name has come up several times in that court case, which I think is really interesting. I think, and the reason why I'm gonna single Smitherman out is because he was the number one voice on council talking about gamified, corruption. And now his name has come up and it's not flattering in terms of, him intersecting with Ndukwe in conversations that he was having with the mayor and folks, talking about skirting campaign finance laws. And so my question for you, Black Russia, is, do you think that's going to impact him running for Hamilton County Commissioner? Now, I'll tell you what, if I was Stephanie Dumas, everywhere I go, I'll be talking about that shit. If I was Stephanie Summerall Dumas, everywhere I went, if we had a debate, I'd be asking him about that shit. Like, wait a minute, didn't your name come up? You was having some conversations. Now, there was nothing that in the courtroom proceedings, Black Russia, that appeared to be, or anybody said was illegal. It just looks bad. It just looks bad. Like, Mr. Smitherman denied it. He was like, nah, I ain't had no meeting with the mayor talking about how to skirt election laws. But my thing about that is, okay, so either we gonna believe what Chinandukwe has to say, or we not gonna believe it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's true. I don't know what's true because they didn't show a recording. It was just testimony, which tells me that I wonder if they have a recording. They might be holding on to some shit. Now, I don't know. Jasmine writes, they didn't even do a sound check. That shows you they don't care about the audience. Come on, man. You getting on stage in front of millions of people, you got to make sure your stage presence together. You could tell. And again, the wifey and I watched about maybe 10 minutes of it. I was done. I was like, I don't want to watch this trash. I ain't watching this. I got better things to do. Angela writes, I used to wait on Smitherman and Bob Evans in Kenwood. I didn't even know who he was at the time. Is that right? Again, I'm not trying to shade Mr. Smitherman, but I just know that's your boy, and you always giving us insight. And it seems like this campaign has given Stephanie Summerall Dumas a little bit of something she can use. And I'll be honest with you, if I was running for re-election and Smitherman was my opponent, I would use it. No doubt about it. Absolutely. You know, fair is fair. But what you think about that, Black Russia? While you talking about PG, like his fate is in the hands of that jury. We'll find out probably in a couple of weeks at the very most. But what's interesting is these other people. And then here's something else that I don't know if I really believe. So check this out. Tell me if you believe this, because I'm not really sure that I do. So it came out in court that Chinandum Ndukwe was trying to give the former mayor, John Cranley, $15,000. But instead of giving it to him, it got into the hands of a guy named Jared Cameras, who was working for the mayor. And apparently, as the story goes, Jared Cameras stole the money. I thought about this in the last 24 hours, and I'm like, I don't know if I believe that. Did he really steal the money from John Cranley, or did he take the fall for John Cranley? So you want us to believe that this dude stole $15,000 that was supposed to go to the mayor. I don't know if I believe that one. That sounds a little funny. That sounds a little funny to me. So again, these are the facts. This all came out in court. A guy it's a white dude named Jared Cameras. I've met him once or twice. But I don't know him. He don't know me. But I've met him. I think I was introduced to him a couple of times here or there. And apparently he stole $15,000, 15 stacks that was supposed to go to John Cranley, and he stole the money from Chinandum Ndukwe. Do y'all really believe that? Do y'all really believe this man who Cranley trusted, who was working with Cranley, stole $15,000? Maybe he did. That's some gangster shit right there. But I'm just saying, that's real suspect. And I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if he really stole the money, because that's some straight up nigga. That's some straight up gangster shit. It's like, oh, I can steal this money. I can get away with this. Or is he taking the fall for Cranley? Right? If Cranley was like, look, yo, it can't connect to me. So you're going to have to tell people you stole it. That way it never really got to me. It keeps my hands clean. Terry writes, I bet that transaction was on the hot tub cell phone, right? $15,000 of your money come up missing and you don't find out where it went. Yeah, that's real strange. Hold on, let me look this up again. So here it is right here. Sharon Coolidge, Kevin Gracia. This is June 24th, so 4 days ago. That was like on Friday. They was talking with Special Agent Nathan Holbrook. Let me see. Holbrook oversaw the 18-month undercover investigation. He said Ndukwe admitted giving 25 money orders to the three politicians on April 29, 2013, followed by 9 cashier checks to them on October 22nd, 2013. They asked Mr. Smitherman about it. He said, it's crazy. I have not met with Chin evading anything. Let me see here. Here it is. It was also revealed Friday that sometime during the investigation, which took place between 2017 and 2020, another prosecution witness, fundraiser Jared Camras, stole $15,000 that undercover agents gave him. The money was supposed to go to Cranley's campaign. Camras has agreed to help prosecutors and is expected to testify next week. That's some shit. Like, let's break that down. Is that how the game has been played? So you're working for the mayor and you get $15,000 from what you think are developers. You just steal the money? Like what money? You just steal the money. Hold on, Black Russian. You just steal the money. On some what you gonna do about it type shit. That's what investigators are saying. They gave him $15,000 to give to John Cranley. It's supposed to go to his campaign. And that Jared Camras just stole it. Now, did he really steal it? Or is he taking one for Cranley? I don't know. Either way, the game is effed up. That's effed up right there. Like, either way. Like, if he didn't steal the money, he just stole the money, that's effed up. No wonder it's so hard to get developments done. No, it's an elitist game. Like, how many people got $15,000 laying around that you can just give somebody for a project? Raise your hand if you got $15,000 just waiting to give to somebody, right? To a politician, because they might, be favorable towards your project. That's a rich man's game right there. That is crazy. Either way, that's crazy. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to hook up Black Russia. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show. Hold on. Let's do this another way, man. Let's do it old school. Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, comrade.
What up?
Nothing. I heard you mention my name. You had some questions.
I did mention your name, but I don't know if yeah. My question was, Smitherman's name came up again.
Yeah, it came up a few times last week.
Yeah, but the difference between Smitherman and some other folks is that he's running for office right now. Do you think that this will have an impact on his efforts to become a Hamilton County Commissioner?
Depends on how much money Dumas can raise. Because if she don't have the money to amplify anything, then it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Political creatures are going to be political creatures. We know about the stuff we eat, sleep, and instant stuff. But general voters don't necessarily do that. But so she ain't got no money for no radio. She ain't got no money for no list. She ain't got no money for no type of messages, it won't matter at the end of the day. I mean, Spilman got over $100 grand right now and counting. I think Dumas maybe have $1 grand. We're talking about she's outspent right now, 100 to 1.
You said $1 grand?
Like $1,000. She only got like 1,000, bro.
Are you serious? She only got like $1,000 in her campaign?
Bro, it's something like that, bro. We'll get the reports for you. She ain't raising no money, bro. Because, I mean, you got to think about it, too. There's a lot of Democrats who don't necessarily like her either. She ain't got that much money in the bank, bro. So, like, this, if she wanted to amplify this right now, she could if she wanted to.
I think that's a fair point.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, like I said, the political mobs know about what's going on. And they know what to play and what can't play. But general voters don't watch the shit like we do. So if she can't put the message out there, then it doesn't matter at the end of the day for her. So it depends on her fundraising ability.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, brother. Thanks for the call.
Yeah. Well, let me just stretch out a little bit more.
Go ahead.
You know, of course, you read the Spilman denied the beating happened too. I just wanted to point out that one of your main sponsors, Shorty Winberg, he said it never happened too. So that you got more than one person saying that Chinadu stretched on that one.
Well, you're right about that. You're right about that. And I wonder if the government has a recording of it.
You never know. They might.
They might. So
if Chinadu was wired up, but we don't know if he was or wasn't.
Right.
Most of his recordings came from like phone conversations and places where the FBI has still video and audio. So I'm not sure if he was wearing a wire, if he even met with these folks. I mean, there's no way for all the meetings that he done had where video and audio's been part of the play, and for this not to be recorded, and for two, even John Crowley said it never happened too. So you got 3 people who said this never happened. You know, it's one thing about testimony in these open courts that jurors are instructed that you don't have to believe everything that come out of the witness about. You can believe some of it, none of it, or all of it. So you got more options than that one to believe everything he's saying or not. You know, some stuff he might say is true. Some stuff he might be saying ain't true. I mean, this is one of those deals where what he might be saying about that particular beating might not be true because you got 3 people saying it never happened. There's no audio of it. So, you know, Chinadu might be out on a limb on that one. I mean, you know, it's just you got to pay attention to the evidence and, like, the veracity of what they're saying, too. You know, it's just not he's saying everything got to be true or ain't got to be true. Some of it's true and some of it ain't.
I think it's very ironic that for your boy Smitherman, that you spent all them years talking about corruption and Gang of Five, and then his name comes up in PG's corruption trial over and over again. I think that's very ironic. And then if I'm on the jury, if I feel like you lying about one thing, you must be lying about everything. Ain't no picking and choosing.
Some jurors might feel like that, but that's not the instruction that the judge gives. The judge tells the witness at the end of the trial, or tell the jury at the end of the trial, you can believe some of it, none of it, or all of it. You have that prerogative. So, I mean, you'll be one person that won't believe any of it. I mean, that's okay. But the reality is that's not how they're instructed. They're instructed that they can believe some of it and leave the rest of it.
Yeah, but that's not how I'm talking about how human beings work. If human beings is dealing, if I'm listening to you give testimony, I feel like you lying about one thing, and as a human being, I question your believability on all things now. So it's like the more. So it's ironic. So Smitherman ain't come up. He said it ain't true. So now, in some ways, you're actually helping PG's defense because you're making Chinadu Ndukwe look less credible. And that's their star witness.
But the jurors don't know that he said that because the jurors ain't supposed to be reading them. So they don't know what Smitherman said. The jurors don't necessarily know what Smitherman said. They know. We might know as the general public, but they don't know Smitherman denied it. They know what
this special Adrian Holbrook said. It was Holbrook who said that, as I understand it. Yeah.
Right, that's true.
So Holbrook said that.
Right, I'm agreeing with you that Holbrook brought all those names up. What I'm also telling you is that in the general public, when we read newspapers, jurors don't get to read the newspapers about the case. So they don't know if Smitherman is denying it or not. And he's not on trial, you know? Sittenfeld is. See, that's the thing, because they came out of cross-examination. PG wants to muddy the waters to make it seem like everybody was doing it. That was the whole point of it, that everybody's out here trying to scheme, plot about campaign finance. That was his point. But the reality is, PG's out here on the island on his own, man. Only thing he's going to do is his whole defense is point at everybody else. Don't look at what I did. Look at what everybody else is doing. Because he doesn't.
That's not his whole defense. That's not accurate. I mean, I think that might be part of it, but it's not the whole defense.
His whole defense is that what I was doing was legit.
Right. Now, that's his whole defense.
Right, but what I'm saying to you is that ain't going to fly. It's not going to fly because they actually been proven in court that this 435 Elm Street project that he took a vote on is tied to his official act. That's the focal point. See, the defense is trying to throw people off the trail by saying Smithman, Winburn, Cranley. They're not on trial, bro. You are. You know, that's the reality of it. And it's just PG muddying the waters to try to let people know on the jury that, hey, this is typical business. I don't think that's gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. And they got more agents coming to testify. They're gonna have Bruner and cameras. That was a good thing that you said what you said. Did he take the fall for Cranley? Who knows? I'm not really sure. But the fact is, he's a government witness now. You know, he's on the witness list.
Who is?
He testified against PG. Jared Cameron.
Yeah, Jared Cameron's right.
So he's testifying for the government. So he'll
of course
explain,
he is, because he got criminal exposure.
Well, yeah, of course. So what do you think he's going to say about that $15,000? He's going to say he stole it. If he say anything else other than that, he's going to be in big trouble. And he still might get prosecuted anyway based upon what the Fed said. Just because he's testifying don't mean his exposure's over with. No, so he ain't got no incentive.
More than likely, it appears he's going to say he stole it. But what if he gets up there and say, you know what? I didn't steal it. I was just saying that to protect Cranley. I gave it to Cranley.
He ain't saying that shit, bro. He ain't going to say that. Because then he going to really get charged up by the Fed. He's still got exposure right now.
Why would the feds care one way or another? That just gives them another big fish. Now they can go after Cranley.
I don't think Cranley's on their radar, bro. I think really and truly,
it's clear that Cranley was on their radar because that was the whole point that Nathan Holbrook was making, is that their investigation was bigger than PG. That was the whole point in which they started talking about that.
It was everybody. They're looking at everybody.
Exactly, and including the mayor. That's the reason why they gave $15,000 to Jared Cameron to get to John Cranley.
Yeah, he didn't get it. He never got it.
But you said they're not looking at John Cranley. They were looking at John Cranley. They were looking at a lot of people.
Everybody. I say they're looking at everybody.
No. You said they would be mad. No. You said that if Jared Cameron pointed the finger at John Cranley, he might get more time. The feds might be mad. I don't think that. That just gives him a bigger fish.
Nah, I don't see it happen. They wouldn't put him on the stand unless they knew what he was going to say. They wouldn't even put him up there. Exactly.
And we don't know what he's going to say. That's the whole point. We don't know what he's going to say.
Look, my impression is he's going to talk about PG Sittenfeld and his heavy-handed tactics about targeting developers. That's my understanding of what's going to be testified to. It ain't going to be done by John Cranley. Look, if John Cranley and Smithman and Winburn, if all these guys had criminal exposure, they'd have been exposed by now. It'd have been a question.
Oh, no doubt about that. No, I think you're great. You're right about that. But there's a reason why Nathan Holbrook even brought this up in any way.
Because he was cross-examined.
Oh, okay. He was cross-examined.
It never came up in direct. Like, he talked about the investigation in direct, generally speaking, and he talked about the investigation of the PG Sittenfeld. That was a wide-ranging investigation. They were basically looking at everybody, and Sittenfeld basically gave them PG Sittenfeld. Now, on cross-examination, Riggers then was talking about the rest of the investigation that other political figures and Sullivan and Winburn and Cranley came up. But that was on cross. Because PG's trying to show that everybody was doing what he was doing. He just happened to get caught. And this is selective prosecution. That's his whole angle.
All right, bro. I appreciate the call.
Well, take it easy.
Yep, take it easy. That's Black Russia. Das Vidania. Appreciate it. Is that right? I don't know, man. It looks crazy. And you got some people that's sitting back, probably shaking in their boots right now, hoping that this gonna expose more and go further. And all, in the short term, this whole trial is going to further erode public confidence. That's all it's going to do. People going to be like, see, I told you. They don't care. It's all about the money. That's exactly what people are going to think. It's all about the money. Period. Nothing more. Good morning, Crystal. Good morning to you. It's evident they put folks on the stand not knowing what they're going to say. Remember the officer in the Ray Tensing trial? Right, I do remember. That was a complete blunder. Complete blunder. Tabitha writes, they need to investigate that FC Cincinnati deal. Well, that's what Jeff Birding may testify. I think Jeff Birding may testify. And again, I'm just saying, I think, just based upon a bunch of factors. But I think he's going to testify that there was a lot of pressure being put on him by PG Sittenfeld and other people to move in one way or another, and that somehow that's corrupt. I don't like it, because that's what city council is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? They are supposed to put a little pressure on people and let their voice be heard on certain matters. Now, it's not supposed to be quid pro quo. It's not supposed to be, give me money and I'll do that. It's supposed to be more about their conscience and what they think is better for the city. But we'll see what he says. I don't want to get too far ahead. Angela writes, I believe it goes back further. The investigation, you might be right, but they went way back to 2013. They went way back to 2013 with this. So we shall see, my friends. Hey, listen, don't forget, if you are in the Cincinnati area and you're looking for a good place to get a bite to eat today, check out Wing Champ. They're located in Sharonville Road, beautiful Sharonville, Ohio. You can call ahead for an order or for pickup or delivery of your order. Give them a call over at Wing Champ, the undisputed champion of all wings. There's a link in the description. I guarantee you're going to find something on the menu that you like. And for dessert, you can order your Creamylicious brand ice cream. Wing Champ, the undisputed champion of all wings of all time. Craig, let me see. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. What's up? Yeah, a little slightly different. I know the lighting isn't the best. I already know. That's the reason why I've been kind of keeping that off. It's like I'm in the shadows. I'll see if I can try to fix this and rearrange the room a little bit. But I'm out of town. I'm out of town for business. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you everything later. Good morning to you. Rackham, Black Russia. Okay. On direct, you know what your witness will say. You don't know what they say on cross. Jack Amoffin writes, Jeff Pastor, lawyer team should be in that Sittenfeld courtroom getting some pointers. He's looking left out in the cold. Who? Jeff Pastor? Well, Jeff, man, he had a tough road. He got a lawyer. The lawyer had legal issues. And then he had to get a new lawyer. He came out initially and said, I'm going to stand by my lawyer. And then, just the circumstances, led him to conclude that it just wasn't going to work. So he had to get he got to get a whole new team. So I feel the same way about Jeff Pastor as I do everybody else. I hope they all get off. I wanted Tamaya to get off. I wanted her to get a slap on the wrist. That was just me. I'm biased. You know what I'm saying? For several reasons. I thought Tamaya Denard, in terms of her politics and her swagger, was exactly what this city needed. Okay. That's what I thought. I thought it was exactly what the city needed. She was also the first politician, to jump on board as a chopper. You know what I'm saying? So I'm completely biased. You know what I'm saying? Plus, sister, you already know. And like I said, I love their politics. People thought that she was projecting toward being mayor one day. I could see it. I wasn't happy to see it. PG Sittenfeld, PG and I go back. We got history. At a time, he and I shared a common vision, as it relates to media. And, I think he would have been a good mayor. Now, is he going to be better than Aftab? I don't know. So far, I like what I'm seeing from Aftab. So I think things happen the way they're supposed to happen. And I think Cincinnati's in a better place with Aftab Pureval as mayor. That's just me. But the same deal. I love to see PG get away from this. I'll be straight up with it. Same thing with Jeff Pastor. I don't really have any personal connections with Jeff Pastor, but he's a young brother from the city. I want to see him do well. I want to see him do well. Everybody heard that. Now, listen, if you the new black Republican on the scene, we're going to have to ask you some questions now. So we're going to have to write, you got to have to go through the briar patch. We got to figure out who you are and what you believe in. That has to happen. But like I told you before, we need good black men and women to be a part of the Republican Party. You know, we need you to go to the Republican Party and have backbone and stand up for the community, right? And bring equity and inclusion to the Republican Party. We need that. I was hoping that Jeff Pastor would be that guy. I said it on this show that I believe that Jeff Pastor had the ability to do something great for our community. I believe that. I didn't just say it. I 100% believe that. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Pastor was a young dude from the city just trying to make his way in life. Father. I hate to see this shit, man. I hate it. But with all of them, you know, that you do the crime, you got to do the time. I mean, you know, it's out of my hands. All we can do is talk about it and learn from it. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's how I felt about it. You know, some people think I'm biased, and I am biased. If you are an enemy to our community and our collective futures, I don't like your ass, period. I'm not rocking with you, period. Period. If you're somebody that rocks with me, I rock with you. Simple as that. I'm human. Very human, but I don't have any ill will toward anybody. You know what I'm saying? If I F with you, I F with you. If I don't, I don't. It is what it is. Like most people. Now, Angela writes, they both played themselves. I agree. I agree, if I understand. Grasson writes, Jeff did something great for the community. FC Cincinnati, he was the 5th vote. Okay. Okay. Cold hard cash is a hell of a drug. Yes, it is. Terrace writes, when I'm in Republican spaces, I go representing black interests first. We need more blacks in the GOP. Right. I agree. We need more blacks in the GOP, but we don't need step and fetch it blacks like Herschel Walker. You and I both know that Herschel Walker knows that he's not fit to be a U.S. senator. He knows that. But he's probably got a lot of backing. He's got some momentum. So what do humans do? They're going to ride it out to see where it goes. Herschel Walker knows he don't deserve to be on no gosh darn Senate. He knows that. That monkey shit, that rat monkey snake routine. We don't need that. But if he can, if his supporters will get him there, he'll take it. He'll take it. But we need that. We need more good melanated men and women to become law enforcement, to go into the FBI, to work in our government on various levels. We need good people in these positions, not the same old, same old. That's what I think. Terrace writes, Herschel is the worst. Backing from people making fun of him is gross. Graston writes, Dems don't rep black interest. They do a hell of a lot more than Republicans. You know what I'm saying? They do a hell of a lot more than the Republicans. A hell of a lot more. But nobody is going to rep black interests more than black people, period. That's just the way that is. There's no political party that's going to care more about black people more than black people. But if you look at the votes and the issues and what they stand for and what time it is side by side, it ain't even no comparison between the two parties. I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. At a time when all these issues are happening right now, you got 25, 30% of the Republican Party that's caught up on some anti-abortion type shit. That ain't the answer to nobody's problems. You know what I'm saying? Criminalizing abortion is not the answer to anybody's problem. Who in this audience has been enriched by this decision by the Supreme Court? Now that abortion is illegal past 6 weeks, how is that good for black women? How is that good for black women? It's not. And if you go look at the statistics across the country, it'll bear to be true. It's not good. If you want to make this a black-white thing and talk about race, it ain't at all. Nakia writes, I don't understand this whole attack going to the Democratic Party. What did they do? Well, Nakia, Blexit, Black Not Democrat, that's what passes as being fake intelligent these days. Like, people are frustrated. And, I was watching something, Tariq Nasheed, he posted this right before, it was like a week before the decision for Roe v. Wade. I meant to talk about it because it was more this goobly gop shit. Tariq Nasheed, for years and years and years, was running around telling people not to vote. Your vote don't matter. Then he got hit and started a quasi-political organization called FBA, Foundational Black Americans, which, I'm with the business on some of it. But at the point in which we're not being engaged locally in elections and the political system, I can't be a part of that because it's dumb shit. This motherfucker, he tweeted something he probably talked about on the show, but I missed it. He tweeted, do they think they can scare us into voting? And I don't know what it was about. What I believe it was about was, I'm not sure, but what I believe it was about is like, Democrat politicians saying, look, you got to vote or die, that kind of thing. Like, this is really important. So he tweeted out something. Let me see if I can find it. He tweeted out, do they think that they can scare us into voting? And I'm like, hey, what up, Drop? Hold on 1 second, Drop. Oh, I just saw you, bro. I just brought you on. Do you think that you can scare us into voting? And I'm like, huh? That's sad that you people have to be scared into voting. That's part of the problem. I'm telling you, some of these new black media types are part of the problem. They're part of the problem because they got their own little cults. They got their own little cults. And it's amazing how a motherfucker can tell you to go look at his videos and his documentaries. And somehow that's going to change the block. That's going to change our community. But voting is not. I just can't get down with that. I just can't get down with it. I just can't get down with it. That don't make no sense. I'm looking for it right now. Desperate attempts to make abortion a black issue. Abortion is a black issue. This man, who is this man? Oh my God. Hold on, I'm on his page right now looking for this shit. I'm looking for it right now so I can put it on the screen and show you exactly what he tweets. Do they think they can scare us into voting? Well, why do people have to be scared into voting? Why is that even a thing? I mean, if you got to be scared into voting, then all is fucking lost. And quite frankly, you should be scared to vote. That's what's so crazy about it. You have to understand what's happening here. I'm looking for it right now. I'm going back to his timeline. See if I can find it. Here it is. It was the title of one of his spaces back on June 23rd. Will scaring black people into voting work this time? 1.8 thousand people, so 1,800 people tune in, which I don't know, that seems like a lot for spaces. I don't know. Will scaring black people into voting work this time? I mean, what the hell? I don't. Yes, no. Why aren't black people scared and motivated by themselves enough to get out and vote. I don't get it, man. It's like you got part of our community that don't even understand what the rules are. They have no idea. And that's the reason, that's how Roe v. Wade happened. You know, Tariq Nasheed was one of the main people running around telling people don't vote for Hillary. He was one of the same people, but instead of being smart and arming people with the useful information, he armed his audience with a lot of dumb shit and unwittingly or wittingly played right into the hands of Donald Trump and the Republicans. Oh, yeah, they the same. You know, what's the difference between Hillary and Donald Trump? Well, one thing is the type of Supreme Court justices. But I know, you know, it'll probably take, see, there's a lot of arrogant men out there who are not touched by Roe v. Wade. They don't care, really. You got a lot of obstinate men who they don't care about something unless it touches them. And so a lot of men out there are like, I don't care about no Roe v. Wade, shit, you know. But wait until the Supreme Court touches an aspect of our society or our life that you care about. Then all of a sudden you want to talk about it. Not smart. Not smart. Not smart. Not smart at all. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah, it is. I like Tariq Nasheed, man, but what I don't understand is for a long time you was telling people not to vote. But you're telling people to watch your fucking videos. How is watching your videos more important than voting in our local elections? Same tricks that these conservative groups use. You know what I'm saying? Like in a lot of ways, there's a lot of similarities between what I see from these FBA people and some of these folks out here and what I see from what's that wacky group that believe that Trump is somehow some kind of hero fighting against pedophiles? What are they called again? There's like this cultish behavior. Very cultish. And so what happens is they get a little bit of truth. They mix it with a whole bunch of BS. And voila, people eat that shit. TNT writes, we don't need to be scared. We just need to care to vote. But voter apathy is being destroying our ability to get ahead. QAnon, right, QAnon. There's a lot of similarities between the way QAnon operates and the way Tariq Nasheed operates and some of these other cats. And again, I like Tariq Nasheed, man. That documentary, what was it called again? That shit was super good to watch. Man, I loved it. Yeah. There's a lot of similarities because it's like they create this world in which people are out to get you. And there ain't no allies but me and us. And so every news story gets slanted and bent and twisted in this wacky world. Man, you should be educating people on what they can do locally. Local should be the focus. Yeah, Tariq Nasheed is funny. He does say some wild shit sometimes. Buy my book, download my song, buy my video. But voting, I'm not so sure, huh? You better mink slide your ass to that damn ballot. Better go straight to the ballot and mink slide. Local. That's right, Terrace. Hidden Colors is dope. I can't say nothing about that. Superlative. Every volume. Get that shit. Watch it with your kids. That shit is dope. And I'm surprised at a man that can create something like that. And again, he came around because there was a time when he was against voting at all. I don't vote. He went on the Breakfast Club. I never forget it. Many years ago. I don't vote. I ain't voting this white man system. We keep voting. Nothing ever changed. Negro, you ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. Shaba writes, QAnon consists of them Fortnite gangsters living in a mama's basement, living that vegan life. Is that right? Huh. That what we doing now? That's what we doing. We going after the vegan life people. I don't like it. Ain't nothing wrong with that vegan life. That's your healthiest. Be your healthiest self. Tabitha writes, voting should be a requirement to get an ID. I agree with that. Like if you want to keep your ID, some type of incentive, something like that. Kelly Prath is in the house. Good morning, Kelly. Grafton writes, I'm pro-life. Trump understood the mission. Black Lives Matter. You, Grafton, you are not pro-life. We talked about this already, bro. You are pro-birth. You cannot be pro-death penalty and be pro-life, sir. Sorry. I'm pro-life. You know what I'm saying? I'm pro-life. I believe in the sanctity of the human life in all cases. Even when you've been found guilty of a crime, even when America want to drop you into foreign lands and have you kill some people that never did something to you, right? And I believe in a woman's right to choose. You know what I'm saying? I believe in life all the way around. I'm not going to let the so-called pro-lifers take away and define what that. You cannot say you pro-life, Black Russia, and you're pro-death penalty. You was the same dude talking about, yeah, kill him. You kill him. Let the state kill people. I'm like, wait a minute, bro. You know, that's inherent with a lot of pitfalls and problems. Kill him. Kill him. Right, no. When you pro-life, you pro-life, period. Like, I'm against America's wars of choice and aggression. I was against the war in Afghanistan. I was against the war in Iraq. In fact, in general, I'm against more of these man-made wars of choice. Why? Because you're putting people's life on the line. You take a human life. I'm against that. Ray writes, good morning, Ray. Are the local politicians making sure Black-owned business developers get more than the crumbs traditionally set aside for us? Just asking. I do know, and we've talked to these politicians. You know, listen, right now we got a majority Black city council. All them Black folks are pro-Black business. All of them. They're all pro-business in general. Of course, they care about it. The city continues its commitment to a couple things. They continue their commitment to working with organizations that's working with Black entrepreneurs and Black creators. They continue that tradition. I don't know what they're doing about Black developers. When you talk with them, though, Ray, they'll all say that they're pro-Black businesses and they're open to hearing ideas on how they can impact Black businesses in particular. You know, I've talked to them and asked them, and that's what they say. And I believe them. Joe writes, morning, Nathan Choppers. Today is my last day here in the Natty before relocating to Arizona. I'll be listening from here and on out. Really? Going to Arizona? Wait a minute. Didn't Pam move to Arizona? Yeah, Pam moved to Arizona too. What's up with Arizona? And we got a few listeners that live in Arizona. What's up with Arizona? Huh. Angela writes, hold up. I'm 99% vegan plant-based. Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about with the plant-based. That's the best thing you can do for your life. You'll live your whole body's going to feel better. You're going to have more energy. Your brain's going to work better. You're going to have less stomach discomfort. You're going to lose weight. Your skin's going to look better. Everything's going to be better all the way around if you go more plant-based. And if you go 100% plant-based, oh, you in. You are in. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. There I am. Yeah, see how you can't even really see me? That's why I've been keeping the image up. You can't even really see your boy. So I got all those lights behind me. Maybe I'll show you some images from the Chicago skyline. Let's see more of your chat here. Damn, moving to Arizona, huh? Cool. Oh, man, have a great time. Timothy writes, great place to live. Is that right? Yeah, I hear great things about it. Falasa is in Denver. She writes, morning choppers from Denver, Colorado. That's right. Casey writes, yeah, my sister moved to Arizona. Not for me, way too hot. Yeah, I see the picture she's posting. She seems to be living her best life. I'm very happy for Pam. That's one of the OGs right there. One of my OG supporters, no doubt about it, 100%. And I appreciate her 100%. I wish nothing but the best for her. Wish nothing but the best. Good morning to you. Let me see here. Drop writes, President Biden has a 38.9% job approval rating on Real Clear Politics, average of all polls. Desperate Democrats need abortion on the ballot in November. Stay woke, still riding with Biden. I guess what disappoints me the most about Drop is that it appears that all of this is just to prop up the Republican Party. I mean, I know that your handle now is Black Not Democrats, but, and again, brother, I just got to be real with you. You don't give a damn about black people. You don't care about black people. That's just nothing more than a prop that you're using to try to attract people to your, maybe your Instagram page or your Twitter page. But in terms of what I've heard you say over the years, there's nothing pro-black about it. It's really pro-Republican Party. So I get you, you know, his approval rating is down, and that's important. It is an indication. If abortion's going to be on the ballot in November, the Democrats didn't put it there. The Republican Party put it there. Or really, should I say the Republican appointed justices put it there. You know, like you said, it's politics. And I don't know what there should be a reaction. There should be a reaction. You know what I'm saying? There should be a reaction to, you know, what the people just saw from this activist, conservative, you know, I would call them radical. You know, they Republicans and conservatives, they'll just say radical liberals, but now we're seeing radical conservatives. And there's always been radical conservatives. I mean, you know, the anti-abortionist crowd, they got their own death squads. Like, do you know that abortion providers have been shot and killed by these extreme religious zealots? Like, people have been shot and killed over this. Like, there's a history of attacks on abortion providers. So anybody who's saying that the liberals are the extreme, they just don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. That's just not what's happening in this country. I don't know where people get that shit from. What I do know is that Dr. David Gunn was shot and killed by an opponent of abortion during a protest outside his clinic in Pensacola, Florida. His death was the first known killing of an abortion provider in the United States. And he wasn't the last. There's a long list of people who are providing legal abortions who were shot and killed. Who were shot and killed by these zealots who feel so strongly in the way they believe they're going to kill folks. Jamal writes, we have to stop stigmatizing people who are pro-life. Most of our mothers and grandmothers were pro-life. Well, what we need to do, Jamal, and good morning to you on YouTube, but what we need to do, Jamal, is we need to choose our words more carefully. Okay? Like, the pro-life movement isn't necessarily pro-life because many of them are pro-death penalty and pro-war. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is that we like to make things black and white, but the world is shades of gray. So you have women out there who have had abortions, and you have women out there who have carried babies to term. How do you define them? Well, they say pro-choice. Pro-life isn't the opposite of pro-choice. Pro-choice isn't the opposite of pro-life. You know, the term pro-choice is a far better definition than the term pro-life. Because, like I said, you got women out there who have children, their mothers, their grandmothers, but they've also had abortions. So are they pro-life? Are they anti-life? No. They're just pro a woman's right to choose. That's it. They're pro a woman's right to choose. You know, there's some things you just can't legislate. You just can't govern it. You know, the state or the government should have no purview over what a woman does with her body. Period. Now, there's some lines there. You know, people say, well, this term late term abortion, and I haven't done the research still, but I still like to know the numbers. So like previous to what happened last week, the law of the land in Ohio was, I think it was like 20 weeks, which is like 4 or 5 months. But I don't know the percentage of women in Ohio who are actually waiting 4 or 5 months to get an abortion. What my experience has been is that typically that's a quick decision when a woman finds out she's pregnant. That's what I found in my personal life. In my personal experiences, what I found is that a woman will typically make a quick decision if she's got the funds and if it's available as to what she wants to do. So what I mean is most women, in my experience, they already know what they're going to do before they get pregnant. Most women, in my experience, already know what they're going to do before they get pregnant. They know, look, if I get pregnant, I'm keeping it. Or if I get pregnant, I'm giving it up. They already know. I don't know what the percentage of those abortions were being done beyond the 3rd month, in the 4th and 5th month, in states where that was permissible. I don't know. For us to really be accurate, we have to know that number. My gut tells me it's probably very, very, very few, because that's just not how women are. That's just not human beings are not. Most women are not like that. Most women make a quick decision. Now, if you're dealing with a woman that's on some kind of a drug or something like that, I mean, hell, there's people who think that's a form of abuse. You should be locked up because you're abusing the fetus. It just becomes a really slippery slope. Becomes a very slippery slope. And as I said before, if you're against abortion, just don't have them. Like, I'm against wearing plaid bell bottoms, so I don't wear them. But I don't want to outlaw them from somebody else wearing them. That's your choice. That's your body. Kamika writes, late-term abortions after 20 weeks account for only 1% of all abortions. I know Brian said that. Now, if that's true, that just weakens the arguments that people have about, you know, these late-term abortions. I mean, it's only a small fraction of people who are doing that. And then I wonder why. Like, why are they waiting so late? There could be some completely legitimate, medicinal, or other reasons why. I don't know. I have no idea. I do know for a fact that there are women who get pregnant and they don't know whether they're pregnant or not until after 6 weeks. But in Ohio now, you can't get an abortion after 6 weeks. How's that fair to women? You got a bunch of white men, primarily, sitting around making decisions about what a woman's body, governing a woman's body. That makes sense to you? I don't get it. Mika writes, this is happening because they're trying to save their race. It's more of them having abortions than us. Wait for it. They're going to go after contraceptives next. I believe there's some truth to that. I think there's multiple reasons. I think it's that, right? It's kind of like, we got to save the race. Got all these non-white folks having all these babies. You got all these illegal immigrants coming across the border. See, there's a connection between replacement theory, fear of a black planet, and people's feelings about abortion as well. It's a numbers game. Yeah, there's some people that feel that way, I'm sure. How many? I don't know. Angela writes, I have friends who have had abortions, but they had their own reasons. I had 3 pregnancies and I had 3 kids. For me, if a woman gets pregnant and she says she wants to have an abortion because she can't afford it, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I'm not coming to your house to drop off food. I'm not going to take care of you. You got to take care of yourself. And some of these same people who will say the right of the baby to live are the same people that when that baby get born, they turn their backs on the baby completely. They don't believe in extending the stay home time for a mother to be with the child. They don't believe in welfare. They don't want to put the money in early childhood education. They don't really believe in the public school systems, right? So I just see it for what it really is. A bunch of BS. Bunch of BS. Let's see here. Oh, snap. Really? Okay, great. Appreciate it. More of your chat. Drop writes, pro-life is giving birth to a living baby. Pro-choice is to give birth to a dead baby. I choose life. Huh? Birth to a dead baby. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Falase writes, people look down on women with 4+ kids and they just pro-life. Falase, excellent point. Some of these same people that's out here about anti-abortion, save the baby. When they see a mother walking around here with 4 kids, they criticize her. They look down on her. Ain't nobody tell you to keep having them kids. Where's the father? Laying up having all these babies, now you want to be on the system. That's exactly what they'll say, Falase. Why? Because we've already heard them say that. We've already heard them say that. Some are saying that the end of Roe v. Wade will mean more children living in poverty. Could be. But I'm sure this will be an ongoing conversation. We ain't done with this. You already know. Before I roll out of here, man, just a word for the wise. Like, it's summertime. People are going to be playing. They're going to be going to lakes and pool parties and things like that. Be careful what you do. Like, when I was a kid, one of my favorite things, and I don't know why this is so much fun, but I remember when I was younger, man, I would go up to LeBlanc Rec Center. I had a couple of my friends out there, and we would love to push people into the pool. I don't know why pushing people into the pool is so much fun. It's so much fun. You see them fall. It's almost like it's in slow motion, right? And there are a few things funnier than pushing your friends into the pool, especially if they got their clothes on or if it's completely unexpected. Oh my God. You'll just laugh all day. Few things funnier than that, right? Well, be careful. Be careful because not everybody knows how to swim. And a woman is dealing with that situation right now. A woman is, some are saying she's very lucky. A woman down in Georgia is going to spend 1 year in jail after pleading guilty to the accidental deaths of 2 men who drowned during a birthday boat outing back in 2021. It's a birthday boat outing. That sounds like fun to me. I go to a birthday boat outing. I would go to a birthday boat outing. That sounds like fun. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's in their bikinis and they swim attire. You having a good time. You're laughing. You're drinking. You're having a good time. You're having a great time. And before you know it, it's not funny anymore. Nobody's laughing. Check this out. Pushing people in the pool never sat right with me. Woman heads to jail after 2 men drowned following a prank at a lake outing. So here's how the story goes. So this woman was at the pool party and she thought it was funny to push a man into the pool. What she didn't know is that the water was freezing cold, a bit colder than what she thought it was, and that the man that she pushed into the pool didn't know how to swim. She pushes him into the pool and he immediately is under duress, right? So what happens? One of his friends jumps in to save him and they both drown. Back on June 22nd, Shuntover Kirkland pled guilty at a bench trial to 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter for the drowning deaths of Ian Wilson, 37, and Edward Lee Kirk, 34. This happened back on April 25th of 2021. She was originally charged with 1 count of reckless conduct, but that was dropped. The family of the men are outraged. They feel like she's getting off too easy. 2 men died because of something she did. I got a few thoughts on this. Number one, stop playing games. Like I said, when I was a child, nothing was funnier than to push somebody in the pool, especially like if they was talking to somebody. Like one of my friends was talking to a girl, and we would sneak up behind them and pick them up and throw them in the pool, right? Then they do the same thing to me, and we would laugh, and it was funny. I don't know why that's so much fun, but it is. It's just something about throwing people in a pool that's just super fun. It is what it is. I mean, I don't know. I didn't set the rules. The second thing is, why is you at a pool party and you can't swim? Oh my God. So my wife cannot swim. And because of that, she and I are never going on a cruise together. We ain't going on no cruises because I'm going to have to die saving her if something goes wrong. Before you get on a cruise ship, learn how to freaking swim because anything can happen. At the very least, you should be able to learn how to tread water. Learn how to lay back on. If you can't do that, and you're going on pool parties and all this kind of shit, we're going to go out to the lake, you are endangering everybody else around you. Because have you ever almost drowned before? I have. That's just a part of it. A part of learning how to swim is almost drowning. Everybody who's ever swum before has almost drowned. I bet everybody in here, if you know how to swim, raise your hand if you almost drowned. Raise your digital hand or thumbs up. It just comes with the territory. It happens to everybody. And when you're drowning, you just start clutching for anything. I'll tell you my story. I'm in Sunlight Pool. I'm like 15 years old. Sunlight Pool is huge. It's huge. I'm in the deep end because that's just my personality. I'm in the deep end, which is like 12 feet. And I'm doing what I always used to do. Is I had I'm going to the bottom of the pool to see if I could. I was reckless as a kid. All kids are reckless. I'm going to the bottom of the pool to sit on the bottom of the 12 feet and look up, and people were swimming above me, and I'm just down here. And, I had no problem. Like, I kicked off from the bottom, caught a Charlie horse. I'm in the middle of the deepest end of Sunlight Pool. Do you know how long it is to get to the edge? And that Charlie horse, it's like it paralyzes your leg. It's like you got a dead leg. And so now you're trying to pull yourself to the water with a dead leg. And I didn't want to yell out because I didn't want to look weak. So I'm swimming. I'm trying my best. I got almost to the edge and I went under. Went straight to the bottom. But I'm thinking, I go straight to the bottom. I kick off with my good leg. I go back to the top. I get some air. Help, help, help. Lifeguard came to save me. I'm just clutching for shit. I'm just grabbing shit. When you about to drown, you just grabbing for shit. And that's probably what happened in this situation. One dude was about to drown, and when you about to drown, you just grab it. You pulling. You don't want to kill somebody, but you just trying to get to the air. You're trying to pull their body down so you can pull yourself up and get a breath of air. The shit is damn near involuntary. You can't even control it. That's probably what happened in this situation with these two men. Condolences to their families, man. That's pretty sad. Yeah, okay, yeah. Angela writes, I almost drowned before my foot got caught in the rope on my raft. My cousin was sitting on that. Was scary, right? Man, it's a sinking feeling too. It was a sinking feeling when you're like, oh shit, I'm about to die. From drowning? That's not the way I want to go out, but it is what it is. Jenny writes, I don't even think Michael Phelps could survive if he fell off a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. That's a tough one. I've never been in the ocean, but what I've read is those waves are something serious. It ain't like being in a swimming pool. You fighting currents, the current's taking you out to sea, shit nibbling on your feet, you start panicking, and don't see a fin, like a shark fin, shit, you might die of a heart attack before you drown. So yeah, Shantae, yeah, that just happens. That just happens. Man, listen, I was like, help! It was a white girl. She's a white woman. Or she was probably a teenager. She jumped in the pool and saved me. Pulled me to the side. I'm spitting up. And what did my ass do? Went jump right back in that motherfucker. Shit, I couldn't go out like that. I jumped straight back in. Once I got my breath. Crystal writes, I can't swim, but I'm getting on a cruise. Learn how to swim first, Crystal. Anything can happen. The Titanic sank. Anything can happen. Learn before you start messing with large bodies of water, learn how to swim. It ain't that hard. Or learn how to tread water. At the very least, learn how to tread water. That way you don't die. Because it ain't worth it. It's not worth it. You see here. Cincinnati Rec is offering swim lessons for all ages beginning July 11th. Free for kids, $30 for adults. I might take my son because he swears he knows how to swim. That boy don't know how to fucking swim. I don't know how to swim, Dad. You don't know how to swim, son. Don't know how to swim. All right. Before we roll out, once again, I want to remind you that today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Wing Champ. There's a link in today's description. Now, you might be looking for a new place to eat for lunch or for dinner, or maybe you got an outing for your business or a group that you're involved in. Check out Wing Champ. Check out Wing Champ. There's a link to their website in today's description. Check them out. Check out the menu. And oh, by the way, you can pick up your Creamalicious brand ice cream. That Creamalicious brand has been getting crazy national attention. I know you're curious. Go check it out for yourself. 3Ws.originalwingchamp.com. And with that, my friends, I got to make a move. I really appreciate you. Have an excellent rest of your Monday. I'll be back and hopefully better than ever tomorrow. I'm going to fix this camera, and I might do some live streaming from around the city of Chicago as well. All right. So have an excellent rest of your day. We'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.